There are a few things I wish I would have known or that I could have done differently that would have saved me years of heartache, exhaustion, and chasing people and solutions that were never going to work and weren't even willing to meet me halfway. I can't change those things, but I can share some things that will hopefully help you not make the same mistakes that I did. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Diana. I have lived through estrangement as a mom, as a daughter in law, and I know exactly what it feels like to wake up one day and realize that someone you love deeply is no longer going to be a part of your life. I've walked the road, and after years of sliding through it on the seat of my pants, I've learned what it takes to really heal, to protect my heart, to protect my peace, and to do it regardless of what happens. I'm going to be sharing 5 things today that I wish I would have either known or that I would have done sooner. The first thing I wish I would have done differently is to protect my own physical, mental, and emotional health. I was so focused on fixing things, being the good mom, the good wife, the good daughter, the good advocate, the good everything, and I was everything to everyone else, and I lost myself in the process. I didn't just lose connection with myself. I lost control of my health, my mental health, my physical health. I didn't realize how much it was affecting me until I nearly broke. And I realized I wasn't immune to this stuff and I wasn't as strong as I thought I was. I wish I would have listened to all the people who shared this same message with me and that I would have found a way to make it happen. I wish I would have dropped all the excuses, poured everything into finding the support and the resources that I needed, and then realized how difficult it would be to reclaim them later on after this was all over when they had been neglected for so long. The second thing I wish I would have done is stop tolerating bad behavior and abuse a lot sooner than I did. I didn't know I had a choice. I didn't know how bad it really was. I didn't even know what it was for a very long time. And as a result, I spent way too long trying to be liked, to be accepted, to be understood. And then I was just trying to survive because things went so bonkers in my life. It turns out it was a losing battle right from the start. And the more that I did, the more I fed right into what they wanted me to do and the role that I had been assigned to play, which was the family villain. Except I didn't know that was really a thing. And I didn't know I was doing it, but it did make things a whole lot worse instead of better. And the truth is, every time you tolerate bad behavior, you teach other people how to treat you. Boundaries aren't punishment, they're self-respect in action. The third thing I wish I would have known that I needed to do was to learn what gaslighting really is. That word is everywhere these days, and the behavior is even more prevalent. And it's happening from the top levels of our government to the secret corners of our home. It's a manipulation tactic that one might employ in order to maintain control over another person. The aim is to make them look and feel crazy, question their own memories and perceptions and judgments, and they do it through lying, broken promises, changing details of a story, telling other people they're wrong without giving any evidence or proof or reasons why, or throwing a hissy fit when they don't get what they want. And very often they do it with a smile, and I love you, and I can't live without you. If you weren't still clear about what gaslighting really is or what it means, I want you to find out. There's plenty of resources out there. Just Google it. There's a very good chance that it's happening to you. It's happening to the people around you. It's probably happened in your home. It's probably happened in your workplace. And if you live in the United States, it's happening to our entire nation. It's so common now that it has almost been normalized, sometimes even celebrated. And yet it is so destructive. The best defense you will ever have against it is to get real about it, to know what it is, to be able to recognize it, and to know how to operate it. That's the only way you'll ever be able to shut it down. The fourth thing that I wish I would have and could have done was to protect my peace by disengaging from contention. That stuff is so easy to get hooked into, especially in the heat of the moment, and especially when the person on the other side knows exactly where to hit your vulnerabilities. In my own case, there was so much fight going on for so long that everyone got locked into that tense fight mode, and it showed up everywhere. And we were being baited for it at every turn. What I know now is that I stayed in it for too long. It wasn't winnable. It wasn't fixable. And staying in it didn't change one darn thing for the better. It didn't yield any positive results. And all it really did was leave me exhausted. Here's the truth that I wish I could shout from all the rooftops. People are only going to hear what they want to hear. In fact, they're only going to hear this video if they want to hear it. But they're going to do what they want to do. And if they don't want to hear your side of things, they're not going to. If they don't want to be part of the solutions, they're not going to. If they don't want to believe you, they're not going to. One of the things that would have made the most significant difference and that I wish I would have been prepared for was that I needed to stop trying to actively parent my young adult kids that didn't want to be parented anymore and that didn't want our input anymore, even though we knew they still needed it. It's a crazy world out there, my friends, and kids are done being parented by about age 14 these days. That's 4 years before they're actually legal adults. That doesn't mean they still don't need us. It just simply means they're done listening and we're no longer the primary influence in their life. I will tell you, we dang near lost some of our kids by holding on too tight. The time to prepare kids to live in the adult world and to gain those needed adult life skills is actually from age 14 to about 18, because anything that comes after about age 18 is bound to ultimately end up in contention. And I can hear some of you now. You're out there saying, but you don't know my kid. You don't know my situation. Well, you don't know mine either, but what I can tell you is I thought the same thing and I was wrong. I promise you, anything that you try to do as a parent in terms of having influence in their life or directing their life after they hit 18, it's going to end in fireworks. The final thing that I wish I would have heard about, known about, learned about was how to let them be right. This one goes right along with the last one, and it's a lesson I didn't learn until way too late. I wish I had learned to just back off, hear what they were really saying through their behavior, through their actions, not just with their words, and then let them be right about all of it, even when they weren't. What I know now is that is one of the fastest and most effective ways to disengage from contention. Rather than staying in the fight and getting my knickers all in a knot, I wish I would have met them with boundaries instead of my own version of what I thought was right, or instead of pleading or explaining or expecting them to think like me or to be me. What I really wish is that it could have and would have been, if that's what you want to believe, you do that. And then just have been done. And if their right didn't work for me, especially if I knew it was wrong or I knew it was gaslighting, I wish I could have said, that's fine. You can be right about that. You can be right about who and what you think I am. You can be right about what you think I did. You can be right about your version of what I think and believe. You can be right about all of it. And this is what I'm going to do now for me as a result. Not as a punishment for them, but as a protection for my peace. You want to pay me as the angry drama queen? Cool. You do that. I'll stay over here and I'll do my thing, and I will not subject you to any more of my drama or to any more of my issues. They're clearly too much for you to handle, and as such, I won't ask you for support, and I also won't share many significant details of my life with you. Nor will I be accepting any money from you because you can't buy your way out of this one. And you want to invite the sex offender to the barbecue when I've told you no for years? Cool. You do that. And neither I or any of my kids will ever attend another one, and we will likely never ever come to your home ever again. If they're committed to being right, they're going to be right no matter what. So let them. And then quietly live your life in a way that works for you and in a way that honors yourself, your safety, and your values. And if their version of right doesn't work for you, make a choice to simply disengage, but not to retaliate. If this is hitting home for you and you want to start protecting your own peace today, I've created a free guide called Reclaiming Your Peace After Estrangement. It's a quick checklist of practical tools and strategies you can use right away to start feeling more grounded, more in control, and more at peace. You can grab that in the link below. I know a lot of us think that if we just try harder, if we just do better, maybe if we say the right words or explain ourselves better, we'll find that perfect moment where we can fix the relationship and things will magically come back together. But the truth is, you can't fix something that takes two people and only one side is committed to doing the work. You also can't fix it, at least not fully, when there's unresolved trauma or unrecognized trauma, and you can't do it when there's constant contention. What you can do, though, is fix the way you show up for yourself, and that's the work that actually changes everything. What I've shared here is just the beginning. You might be wondering, yeah, well, how about the things that you learned from this experience? That's exactly what I covered in my last video. It's raw, it's real, and it might give you some deeper understandings as well. So click on over that and I'll meet you over there.